And now for something completely different.
Good Lord.
Moving to Montana, say, give me all your time. Moving to Montana, say, give me all your time.
Moving to Montana soon? Maybe. Gonna have to move somewhere the way all the destruction is going on in the neighboring ranches around here. It's getting pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for dropping by today. Good to see you. Good to have you here. As always, I appreciate you taking a little time out of your busy day to stop by for a visit. I hope everything's going good in your neck of the woods. There's been a lot of kind of freakish events happen since I last spoke with you. As a matter of fact, I think the last time we talked, we were just coming out of an ice storm, which broke a lot of trees, broke a lot of pipes, and honestly made for a lot of beautiful photographs. But also in the realm of being freakish, I had a birthday, and at my age, anytime you have a birthday, that's a shocking, freakish thing. So glad to have another one to hang on the wall. This was one of those that ended in 0, so it was a big birthday. And you know, every time I have one that ends in 0, it's almost like it's a time for reflection. I don't know how you are, but you know, when you hit 30, when you hit 40, when you hit 50, 60, and now 70, you know, it's like time to look back and reassess your life and everything that's happened. And I was doing that the other day. I needed to go to the grocer, and I was in my truck and I was driving down there, and I thought, so is life better or is it worse? I've lived 70 years, so what's my take on it? And I got to thinking, well, it was Mayberry. Every small town was Mayberry. It was a simple life. It was an easy life. You left your doors unlocked. Your kids could go ride their bicycles clear across town. You never had to worry about anything. It's a sweet thing. It's a sweet melancholy event. It was a time of life that we look back on with a lot of sentimental feelings. And yeah, I do miss that. But on the other hand, there's so many things now. Our life is so much easier by all these modern inventions. I mean, this, for instance, to have all the information, you can just carry it around with you. Yeah, it's remarkable. It's things that I would have never believed would happen if you asked me 50 years ago. But anyway, like I said, I was on my way, and I was trying to figure out, is it better or is it worse today? And I know everyone seems to have an opinion, but if you really research it, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad today. Back in the old days, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad then too. But the closer I got to the grocery, I was just thinking, you know, I don't know if it's better and I don't know if it's worse. I think it's just weirder. And, you know, I mean, just taking things like COVID virus that has, you know, shut us all up into our houses for so long. And then all the deaths associated with that, the vaccines and all the dissension and all the trauma, and it just, you know, it's weird. It's just a really, really weird thing, and all the shortages and all that crazy stuff that spun off of that, and the fact that I have to really watch what I say now, because more than likely, especially at my age, I'm going to insult somebody, not intentionally. It's just I'm not aware of all the changes, and it's hard for old people to change. But like Uncle Floyd always said, time changes everything. And as I got to the grocery store and I got out of my truck, and I thought, I just need to figure out before I get in here, is it better or worse? It was driving me nuts. And then I thought, or is it just weird? And then before I even got to the front door of the grocery store, I saw this. And that answered my question. So welcome to my weird world. But anyway, like I said, a bunch of freakish events, and I wasn't done with just the trip to the grocery store. After I got in the store, I came back out and I was in my wife's car, and I was taking it down to get it inspected. And I went down to the inspection station, and you go in, it's a real nice little place, nice people in there. And I went in there and I gave him my keys. I said, my car's parked in slot 5 or whatever. And he said, okay, we'll get to you in a minute, Lee. And so I sat down, I was reading my book, and before I knew it, my car was inspected, it was all ready to go. So he called my name, and I went up to the desk, and he said, Lee, it'll be $7 or $8. I don't remember what it was, really cheap. And I said, okay. And he said, here's your keys, your car's parked in, slot 5. And I said, okay, very good. And I started to leave right then, and I thought, no, Lee, remember your kindness thing. And so I stopped for just a minute, and I said, I just wanted to tell you that I always appreciate you guys being here. Thanks a lot. You always take care of me. And I appreciate it. And he said, well, I appreciate you saying that. Most people don't. And I said, well, I mean it. And he goes, I know you do. So I collected my keys and my receipt, and I headed to go out the front door onto the porch. And about that time, a lady lost control of her car and drove up onto the porch and smashed this big column right where I was headed. And I got home after that, and I told my wife all about it. And, I just got to thinking, like Floyd said, time changes everything. Timing is everything. Had I been a little 5 seconds faster there, I wouldn't be here to tell you what happened on my birthday. And I got to thinking back, what happened earlier that day in my life that put me 5 seconds out of harm's way? Then I figured out what it was. I took the time to be kind. Had I not stopped and turned around and said, I appreciate you guys being here. You always take care of me. I thank you. That would have probably been the end of old Dr. Lee. So, kindness pays off in so many ways. And I may be wrong about that. I still may have been able to avoid the accident, avoid all the rocks falling. But nevertheless, this 7th decade is starting out as quite a rocky one. Did you get that? But nevertheless, the sermon is over for today. Let's get to the meat of this video. Our family got to get away for a little R&R. Finally got everyone together, and we headed up to Whitefish, Montana to do a little snow skiing, and I figured you guys would like to come along for that. So we left old cold and ugly, windy and brown San Antonio early in the morning, loaded the whole family up on the jet, and away we went. And man, I love that acceleration. As far as flights are concerned, I don't really care about the in-flight ride. I hate being cooped up in tiny seats with people all over you and your back hurting and for 2 hours at a time. And I do not relish that, and I don't care for the landings, but I love the takeoff. I like the acceleration. I like it when it shoves you back into the cushions of your seat. I still ride motorcycles, and I still drive sports cars pretty hard, and it's just something about acceleration. I think a lot of you gearheads know exactly what I'm talking about. But Nana and I had charge of the wild man on this trip, and it didn't take long. We'd gotten up so early that soon, enter Sandman and off to Never Never Land, and peace was restored. But like Uncle Floyd said, time changes everything, and good things don't last forever. So that little monkey was back awake in a short amount of time. And we had a few other monkeys with us too, and all of them using their digital babysitters, as I call them. But soon it was pretty obvious that we weren't in Texas anymore.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
No, Dorothy, we weren't in Kansas either. We were closing in on Denver for a brief stay, and then we quickly jetted back off to Whitefish, Montana. We got to feel that acceleration all over again. The closer we got to Montana, the rougher the terrain was. It was beautiful, rugged, and dynamic. Just gorgeous. I've never been to Montana. This was my first time, and it really is a beautiful area. But we soon arrived in Whitefish, Montana. Drove about 30 miles to the ski area. The weather was beautiful. We were there for 5 days. It was around 30 degrees in the daytime and about 20 degrees at night. And we had a few snow showers in there as well. Just absolutely beautiful. We had a condo that you could ski up to and then ski away from, going down to the lift. So it was perfect too. We didn't have to get in the car and load all our skis up and all that. But we really enjoyed that, especially just being able to get on your skis and head right out the door and go right down to the lift. It worked pretty well for everybody that was on skis, but for people that were on snowboards, they still had to hoof it a little bit. Here's Matt carrying his snowboard, and here's one of the littles right here that just kind of ran out of gas. He was having to walk, and Matt puts him on his snowboard and starts pushing him, and it looks like that didn't work, so Matt finally just picked him up and carried him to his little ski school. We had a lot of fun on the mountain, and the last 2 Carrikers that couldn't ski left this trip as bona fide skiers. But honestly, I think the kids had just as much fun exploring and playing in the deep snow. Down here in this part of Texas, we get like an inch of snow every now and then, so to see snow drifts that were 3 and 4 feet deep was really, really fun for the kids.
That was pretty easy.
That was pretty easy.
You want a harder challenge?
Yeah. Wait, I need to get out first.
I'll go in.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What if it falls?
I'm here to help you if it falls.
That'll fall.
All right, Daddy, you going in our house?
Whoa! That's actually cool.
Crawl up there. You have to sleep there tonight.
Ow!
It's kind of angled.
Can I try?
Yep.
Oh, no wonder you were shoving him into a rock or something.
Don't take me out!
You're in an igloo.
I want to take it down.
Huh?
What do you mean take it
Oh.
down?
Ready?
Yep.
One, two. Sneaky attack!
I want to do it too!
Alright, hey, we're getting rid of this knife. Sorry. One. Ready?
Throw me that
2.
3.
Sneak attack.
Okay, my turn. Don't leave me.
And the next time we go, we're going to save a little bit of money. We're only going to buy 1 bed for the girls instead of 3, because this is the way they wound up every morning. And once again, it was just a perfect trip. The adults all got a good break. The kids all got to ski a lot. The littles learned how to ski. And it was just awesome to get the whole family together and spend 5 days just loving our life. And to quote Uncle Floyd again, time does indeed change everything. And old Mother Nature got ready to rear her ugly head. Look at the forecast from Wednesday on out. Fortunately, we were leaving on Monday. So with the forecast deteriorating, and quickly and brutally, we decided to jump back on the airplanes and head back to good old San Antonio. Now, mind you, we were still dressed like we were when we left 25-degree Whitefish, Montana. We got off the plane in San Antonio. It was 75 degrees. Humidity was about 90%. And we were not having a whole lot of fun getting the bags and walking out through the parking lot to get the cars. But we got the air conditioners on pretty quick and made it back home. And one more tip of the hat to good old Uncle Floyd. And to be redundant and quote him one more time, time does indeed change everything, including the way you kill time in an airport. God bless you all, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Like I always say, it means a lot to me. I thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time. And I want you to always remember I love you. Bye-bye now. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's gonna learn you?
That's a mistake.
I might be moving to Montana soon.